Okay, let's get to it, and also thank you Fragilities for the follow. Um, yeah. Anyway, we're starting case 3. Let's get to it.
Glancing over my records of the late last century, I am faced by the events of a certain bitter winter. A murder in a carriage as it sped through dense London fog in the dead of night. Though the victim and the perpetrator were the only ones inside, there were multiple witnesses to the crime itself. However, none could have imagined at the time that such a seemingly obvious case as this would end in such a horrendous manner. My friend, Mr. Herlock Sholmes, once said of the incident, "I believe that perhaps that case was indeed the prelude. The beginning of a long concerto that impressive Japanese student and I were to play together."
Oh boy.
Amazing. Is this really just a railway station?
Railway station or not, I've never seen such an enormous building before.
And look at all the steam locomotives. This country is incredible.
I feel like I'm dreaming.
So this is the capital of Great Britain.
So, where to?
Oh, hello.
Climb aboard. I'll take you wherever you want to go.
In that case, the Supreme Court in Whitehall, if you wouldn't mind.
My pleasure. I suppose you're visiting students from abroad, eh?
Yes.
Thought so. Well then, I hope you enjoy your stay. And welcome to the centre of the world, Great Britain's mighty capital, London.
They're probably gonna have to pay for that later, aren't they? Anyway, is this really a Supreme Court, or is this a king's chamber? Because that looks more like a throne. What? The Lord Chief Justice's office. Oh boy. What an incredible place. It's so imposing. It's almost suffocating. This place is breathtaking. It looks like a fortress. There are some stone buildings like this in Japan now, of course, but they've only been built in the few short decades since we've opened our borders to the outside world. An authentic example like this has quite a different impact, wouldn't you agree? A far cry from the world of wood and paper most of our buildings are constructed from. It's certainly unfamiliar. But I think there's more to the differences than just construction materials. What is this place? What is this place again? This is the Lord Chief Justice's office, Naruhodo-san. In the Supreme Court of Great Britain. The Lord Chief Justice. We had instructions to report here at this time if circumstances were different. We were supposed to let the Lord Chief Justice know that we had arrived from Japan. But Kazuma can't. No. So instead, we are here in a different capacity, as envoys to report the news of Kazuma-sama's death. Yes. And having delivered his or her message, an envoy's duty is done. So, we'd have to return to Japan. If we want to remain here in Great Britain, I have to take Kazuma's place as the law student selected for the study tour. Yes, which means you need to gain the requisite qualifications as a lawyer, which is what I've been studying for. Here in Great Britain, it is the Lord Chief Justice who appoints the lawyers. So that's the second reason why we're here, to have you officially recognized as a lawyer. It's the only way that we'll be able to remain here in London. I hope I'm up to scratch. Ah, good morning. Sorry for keeping you. Whoa! Oh, I trust you aren't too exhausted after your long voyage from Japan. It seems I'm 1 hour 12 minutes and 47 seconds late. My apologies. Oh, no, don't mention it. We were never happier. We were never happier than when we're standing around with nothing much to do. How fortunate. So, introductions. I'm Mael Strongheart, Lord Chief Justice of the British Empire. And I feel like a little mouse under an elephant's foot. Come on, Mr. Naruto, don't be a mouse. Oh, it's an honor to meet you, Lord Chief Justice Strongheart. Ryunosuke Naruhodo from the Empire of Japan. Well, Mr. Naruhodo. Welcome to London, the capital of a glorious British Empire. Yes, thank you. These are the scales of justice. They're a symbol of defense, aren't they? Yes, that's right. The scales are a symbol of fairness, to show that all are treated with equally in the eyes of the law, and they're a warning to those who enter the courtroom with an impartial mind. But if they're the mark of the defense, it would be more auspicious if they were weighing more heavily on the not guilty side, I think. Very impartial, I'm sure. The lawyer's name is embroidered on the inside here, Kazuma Asugi. This was his band, of course. He had his heart set on the study tour in Great Britain. I'm sure he would have found the truth he longed for here, but he lost his life before he even had the chance to see the place. I have such a strong sense of his hopes and dreams when I look at his armband, though. Okay, I wanted to present this, actually. Lord Strongheart, may I show you this? To accept this item, issue a receipt, examine it thoroughly, and make a formal statement of my finding would require something in the range of 24 seconds of my time. Sorry? Does the item warrant 24 seconds of my time, Mr. Naruhodo? Let's leave it for now. I'm pretty sure that would have, that conversation took more than enough time. Look at these menacing metal giants facing each other across the room! I believe they're suits of armor. Oh, right. I thought maybe they were like lion dogs we have in Japanese guarding shrine gates. No, not at all. In fact, in Europe, suits of armor like these are always possessed by evil spirits, you know. And they roam around in the middle of the night. Really? Is there nothing you don't know, Mrs. Sasato? This book tells me everything I need to know about everything. If you're ever unsure, just ask. Where did she get that incredible tome? And it's so small! It's so small, and just look at these naughty books packed together on these shelves. They go from floor to ceiling, and they're all books that you couldn't hope to come by in Japan. It's like a dream. Yes, a very bad dream. They're not all about British law either. These are books about the judicial systems of other Western nations. I mean, I would hope so. Hey, Ketchup Kid. How's it going? France, Germany, Spain, Holland. What about Russia? Why do you ask? I was wondering about asking Lord Chief Justice how do you say wardrobe in Russian. What do you think? I think perhaps it's a thought best abandoned. This must be Lord Chief Justice's desk. I believe it's made of marble. Looks more like an over-the-top tombstone that's toppled over to me. I think that's your fanciful imagination at work again, Mr. Naruhodo. It feels like everything that's normally made of wood and paper at home is made of bricks and stone here. I know. That's why this place feels so overbearing, I'm sure. Yeah, really. Like, I've been waiting for this game, and I didn't even think it would even happen. So, and I'm so glad to be wrong. Anyway, we should probably talk to the guy instead of just looking around. London. So, what are your impressions of the capital so far? How do you like London? Oh, help! I've been so nervous ever since I got here and I can't remember a single thing about the city! It's simply splendid, isn't it, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh, we had a wonderful view of some of London's streets from the carriage on the way here from the station. Everything's so impressive and grand! I must say, I'm almost lost for words. I'm glad to hear you like it. The city boasts tramways, piped gas, water and gas, even cables supplying electricity. We spearhead every revolutionary new technology in the world. Every visitor of London is astounded. Oh yes, astounded is the word. Thanks for saving me there, Sasada-san. Everyone seems so jolly and full of vigor. Yes. There's much excitement about the upcoming great exhibition we will be hosting here in London, and the all-important tea time that is mandatory at all times of the day. That must add a lot. Great exhibition? Cultural and technological achievements from around the globe are to be exhibited here in our great city. It will be the greatest spectacle of its kind in history, and will make Paris's World Fair look like a toy shop. Gosh, I can hardly imagine how magnificent it's gonna be. Great Britain's capital city is nothing but magnificent. London is the center of the modern world! Even if you do say so yourself. The sun will never set on our great empire. Then, I'm pretty sure it does. Perhaps it's fate that in these progressive times we welcome visitors from the land of the rising sun. So, Lord Chief Justice Sir Guy, I think you were expecting a student of law for this study tour, weren't you? I know, right? Absolutely. A Mr. Kazuma Osugi, if my memory serves. That's right. The British government has already been telegraphed a full report on the situation. I understand the young man lost his life aboard the steamship bound for our shores. It's amazing, the news reached him before we even arrived! My country's naturally extends its deep condolences to yours. Oh, thank you. And you honored this appointment specifically to inform me of the news? Yes. We are here in the capacity of envoys from Japan to report the sad news in person. They tell me you Japanese are people of protocol and courtesy. I see that it's true. And it is with some regret that I must inform you that the death of the young lawyer means the study tour which we can no longer proceed. If you would just hear us out, Lord Strongheart. What do you have to say, madam? It's about the study tour. Mr. Naruhodo here would like to make a proposal. Would he now? Well, Mr. Naruhodo, this is it then. The moment of truth. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure 100 years or so the sun will definitely set. The thing is, Lord Justice, Lord Strongheart, I was wondering if perhaps you would consider allowing the study tour to go ahead? Don't misunderstand me. Britain would ideally like to see the tour go ahead, but without a lawyer from your country, there's nothing to be done. Well, in that case, what if there was someone else? Another lawyer from Japan, I mean. Is there something I don't know? Well, only a single lawyer was invited to Great Britain from your country. And that was Mr. Osugi. At least that is what I've been led to understand. Thing is, really isn't going well at all! I just can't seem to get the right words to say to this man! Mr. Naruhodo, I can feel things here if I'm not careful! What am I going to say? There's someone else here from Japan who could be described as a lawyer. It's... I am so... Forget, let's do it. It probably can only be... Yes, Mrs. Sato! Huh? An unusual introduction, but I presume you mean this charming lady beside you. You are a lawyer, are you? That look she's giving me. After all the days of hard work she put me to help me study, I can't let her down now! I think that's quite enough joking, don't you, Lord Strongheart? My real answer is... It's me. I can do it! Is that so? I mean, I don't actually have any qualification as such, but... No qualifications to say, and yet you still claim to be a lawyer. I've acted as a lawyer in court before. Only once, as it happens. And I had Kazuma to help me. And I was the accused. But glossing over the details... I've been spending every spare moment on the journey here to Great Britain studying. I've learned all about British law and court proceedings while I was on board the SS Beria. The voyage from Japan is some 50 days, I believe. Not what you might call a full education. I don't know! Like, I mean... To become a qualified lawyer here in Britain, not only do you need a university degree in law, but you must also complete several years of training. I realize it's far too short a period of time. I'm just that dang good. Like, he has the actual experience, so that should count as something, right? Huh? I can't just go back to Japan. Mr. Asaki's journey has only just begun. But coming here on this study tour was all he thought about. I have to carry out and do everything he planned to do. I know it must sound like I have an overly inflated opinion of myself, but I would do anything to prove that I have what it takes. Any test you care to send to me. Just one chance, that's all I'm asking for. Please! 31 seconds. Sorry? Your opening statement there, Mr. Naruhodo. It was 31 seconds long. Jeez. Not too brief, not too perfected. A perfectly judged appeal, I would say. I would be impressed if they actually timed, if it was actually timed in real time or something like that. I doubt it, but it would be hilarious if they just decided to just have that, like, timed in real time just for the heck of it. Which is a skill that would stand you in good, like, stead as a lawyer. Oh, thanks. So, you're willing to put those words to trial, are you? Well, I'm all for entertainment. Huh? Well, let me ask you one thing first, sir. Yes? You say you intend to do everything Mr. Asaki planned to do. Are you firmly set on that path? Well, yes, that's my intention. I see. Am I imagining things? Or did his expression just alter a fraction there all of a sudden? Very well. You have your wish. I'll give you a chance. A test to become a specially certified lawyer. Whether you pass or fail is entirely down to you. Really? Okay. What's his test? Hopefully it's nothing too embarrassing. So what form will the test take exactly? Tell me, Mr. Ahado, what do you consider the role of a lawyer to be? Well, defending people, of course. Well said. So, let's have you defend someone. Huh? Aha. Your timing is perfect, in fact. There's an trial about to begin later today. No advocate has been appointed for the defense yet. So this will be a welcome news. Today? Straight away? If you manage to secure a verdict of not guilty, you'll have passed my test. What could be simpler? How do I get myself into these situations? Well, can I ask what sort of trial is it, Lord Starheart? We're skipping straight past theory and going to practical. Yep, exactly. Yes, good question. I remember. It's a murder trial. Great! My favorite! An extremely simple case, I understand. You really can't lose. That's easy to say! But I should mention, just in case, if the defendant is found guilty, he will, of course, be sentenced to capital punishment. So no pressure or anything! Capital punishment? He'll be put to death? Here in Great Britain, murderers are sent to the gallows without exception. Presumably, you read that much in your short sea-based introduction to British law? We can't possibly agree to such a test. We will be toying with a man's life! I am the Lord Chief Justice, and I've decided it's acceptable. But you can't do that, can you? There's no need to overcomplicate this. All you have to do is ensure that you don't lose. So the defendant may live or die depending on how well I perform in court. If I lose, he'll be hanged. Mr. Naruhodo, you come to be claiming to be a lawyer. If you want me to take you seriously, you need to prove you're willing to do a lawyer's job. And you say you intend to see through the will of your compatriot, Mr. Asagi. I would like to understand just how far you're willing to go in order to make that happen. So true. It's testing my resolve. What's the matter? You fallen silent. I'm sorry, but time is pressing. The trial begins shortly. I need an answer from you now. What's it to be? What do I say? Do I agree to this absurd test? I know we're supposed to say yes, but what happens if I say no? That's basically my game. This is my game designer brain taking over right now. Alright then, if I have to give you a decision now, my answer is... I can't do it! I can't get the words out! 15 seconds. Your decision making needs work if you need to be a lawyer. That was too slow. So, it's as I suspected, is it? Sorry? You have noble intentions, but lack the resolve to see them through. The test is cancelled. Thank you for stopping by. Wait, what? Go to acquire your ticket for passage back to the east tomorrow. This conversation is over. Thank you for offering me a chance. What can I do? It's alright. I understand. Okay. Wait, is this actually the is this actually how... do we actually not do this? If I say I'll do it. Alright then, if I had to give it... Oh, it's the same whether or not I do it. Whether or not I say it, no matter my answer. It's a but thou must situation. You have noble intentions. Thank you for stopping by. Go and acquire a ticket for the conversation is over. Oh boy, that is that's sad. What can I do? It's alright, I understand. You do? It's not an easy decision to choose whether to defend a man in these circumstances, but resolve has absolutely nothing to do with it. What are you trying to say, madam? I think what Miss Susano means is that no matter how badly I like to be recognized as a lawyer and stay here in Great Britain, to risk another man's life by treating his one and only chance at a trial so trivially would be utterly unforgivable, and I feel exactly the same way. Oh boy. I'm sure the defendant won't see this trial as a test, as some kind of experiment. A lawyer may fight for his clients in court day after day, but for each one of those clients, the particular day they stand in the dock may be the only chance they have to fight to prove their innocence. No, I was wrong. I'm not qualified to do that job yet. I'm sorry for wasting your precious time, Lord Chief Justice. Wait, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, was there something else? It's approximately 20 minutes by carriage to the Old Bailey from here. If you leave immediately, you should still be there in time. But I just did that. I just said that I was quite serious when I told you. The defendant in this case has literally no one to advocate for him. Oh. Oh. Also, hi, Wolfboy. Yeah, I don't know why the alert didn't go off. But so, What? At this point, he can't hope to find someone to represent him. The trial will begin without a defense. And if that happens, there's only one possible outcome. He will receive the most severe sentence the judge can pass down. But that's awful! But that is the truth. Why does it have to be like this? Please don't expect an answer to every question. The cold hard truth of the matter is that there is only one person now with a chance to save this man from the very miserable end. And that is you. Well, really his only hope? So, what do you say now, madam? Me? What do you mean, Lord Strongheart? You said it wasn't an easy decision to choose whether to defend a man in these circumstances. And I agree. But in my estimation, it is purely and simply a matter of resolve. Oh. Our time is up here. I have a meeting to attend. I must leave in 2 minutes and 16 seconds. So, venture into our great city and enjoy yourselves! Oh boy. Oh, he's gone. The Old Bailey. If we're going to do this, Mr. Naruhodo, we must leave at once. So what do we do? What do? Mr. Sada, can I ask you something? Careful. From this position, I can perform a Sada takedown in an instant. I know. Mr. Naruhodo, you heard Lord Strongheart. The trial starts imminently. If I need to throw you, I will. You know, you could just say, I think we should hurry to the courtroom. If you need me to ask anything, it had better wait until we're at the Old Bailey. Hey, you want to see my armband? Mr. Sutter, can I just ask you something? Careful. Okay. Okay. Just GTFO. Gotcha. The Old Bailey. I guess we're going. Oh boy. I guess we're just jumping right into another trial. The Old Bailey. Defendant's antechamber. Oh, thank goodness. We're in time. There's still 15 minutes up until the trial begins. Dang! Dang, man! That was fast! I never knew a horse-drawn carriage could go so fast! I thought my teeth were gonna run almost! Oh my god! Oh my goodness, the Mantle Convention there is just the best. Did you hear what I said to the driver when we climbed aboard? Get us to our destination in 5 minutes, driver, and there's a guinea in it for you. It's one of my favorite lines of the Herlock Sholmes stories, and it works quite perfectly. I mean, it makes sense. Like, it kind of makes sense to just, like, if you incentivize someone to get there fast, they're going to want that tip. Though, I mean, nowadays, traffic laws are more expensive, but yeah. I'm not sure why you're so pleased. I thought we were going to die! And we had to pay gold for the privilege. Well, at least we arrived here before the trial started. Yes, I suppose there's that. Anyway, I don't understand it. The court clerk said the defendant should be here, but there's no sign of him at all. So this is the Old Bailey. Even in this room, for defendants to wait is grand. Are you alright, Mr. Naruhodo? I'm feeling tense, that's all. This place gives me the sense of foreboding that I remember from the Supreme Court in Japan. An oppressive air, almost as if the building itself is going to crush whoever is inside to be sentenced. It feels like only yesterday that I was the one about to be crushed. Hey, at least this time you're not the defendant! Like, it only took you 2 cases to not be accused of murder. Yes, whoever the man you're to defend is, I imagine he's feeling very alone in this moment. Top of the morning to you, madam. Sir. Aye. G'day, governor. Oh, no, that's much more Australian. What? What are you doing following me here? Things are fair desperate, aren't they? Sorry. Would you look at those expressionless faces? From the east, I use. We're from Japan, yes. Ah, Japan, is it? Right, say no more. So, how much do you need? No, we're here just because... No need to explain, fella. I'll be in there myself, so I have. No place to go, nothing to eat, penny to my name. And all in a while, a strange, faraway land. Well, actually, we haven't found a place to stay yet, no. 'Tis grand. Let me stop on giving you 1,000 guineas. Say nothing now. 1,000 guineas, please, Mr. Sutter. You don't have to shout. 1,000 guineas is enough to build an entire mansion in the most prestigious area of Tokyo. What? 'Tis nothing to me at all. I like to ensure I have sufficient funds to weather a rainy day, you see. I have enough wealth to buy the city of London 2 or 3 times over. Could that much rain even fall in one day? Well, if it's so, we couldn't possibly accept such a large... well, sorry about that. So we couldn't possibly accept such a large sum of money. The accident is infectious. Ah! That hit me in the eye! Don't get me wrong, fella. I'm not giving you no strings attached. I'd be wanting you to do something for me. Huh? To be honest, this is a little embarrassing. The trial is about to begin, you see, and when we go south here, I'll be in the dark. So now, what I want you to do is come along with me and stand down beside me. Officially, you'll be my lawyer, but that's just a little detail now. Oh, well, the thing is, don't worry about a thing. All you gotta do is stand up next to me, nothing more. Otherwise, you see, the trial is going to start without me having any kind of representation at all. So it's true. The Lord Chief Justice wasn't just making it all up. I'm terribly sorry to have to ask, but does that mean you're the defendant in this trial? Bluster and blazes! Do you not know who I am? Me, one of London's biggest names! No, sorry, we've only just arrived in the city, you see. I know that, I'm pretty sure that accent is Australian, but oh my goodness. I see. I suppose it isn't altogether impossible. Well, just next to Hyde Park there, in the center of London, is another beautiful park. Sorry, a park? What? Just called McGilded Park, full of blossoming flowers and spring singing birds and whatnot. I donated it to the city, so I did. An entire park in central London? A city of smiles, that's my vision for London. 'Tis nothing Magnus McGilded wouldn't do for the city and its queer old people. Queer? 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 What is that? Queer. Subset of queer theory is... okay, never mind. Thanks, Google. Anyway, I'm just gonna not read that. That's amazing. I mean, really extraordinary. But now they have the gall to say I'm a good-for-nothing criminal. Me, Magnus McGilded. What's the matter with the London police? I ask ya. Okay, this yeah, I'm pretty sure this well, anyway, bleh. Alright, don't pass out. Mr. Naruhodo. Perhaps now would be a good time to introduce ourselves while the gentleman catches his breath. Good idea. Mr. McGolded, the thing is, we are actually here in London to study British law. We're law students on a study tour from Japan, you see. So, if you don't have a lawyer for the trial yet, and you'd be happy to put yourself in our hands, we'll do our best. What would I have to say? You daft Egypt? I'll give you 1,000 guilders to stand up there next to me, haven't I? Oh, yes, but I wasn't really offering just to stand up next to you. Oh, I think I see what's going on here. Sorry. I know what you're thinking. This chancellor of a fellow claims to have more money than the Queen. But if that's true, why in blazes can he hire the finest lawyer in all England? Because he did it. That's the only explanation. Well, well, not at all. Not at all. Although it is a little strange, to be honest. Why don't have a lawyer? I mean, yeah, that would be the fault of the Reaper. Sorry, did he just say Reaper? Aye, the Grim Reaper of the Bailey, Lord Barak von Zeiss. Or is it Zeeks? Like, yeah, I think it's Zeeks, or... Right. He's the prosecutor. The prosecutor is the Grim Reaper? When Van Zeeks stands up for the prosecution, they call the accused his sacrificial lambs. And to this day, in every single trial in which he'd been the prosecutor, the accused has been damned. What? So it's reached a desperate situation, where there's no one willing to stand in defense against the fair at all. You could say the living legend of the Old Bailey. Goodness, Lord Baron von Zeeks. He must be an exceptionally talented prosecutor then. I'm probably just going to be switching pronunciation. Talented isn't the word you're looking for, madam. It's cursed. Cursed? What on earth? The defendant is summoned and his counsel! Please make your way to this courtroom! The trial is about to begin! His counsel? That would be me. Oh, 'tis time. Well then, don't let me down. But I don't know anything about the case. You haven't told me what happened. Until you show me your face, show your face here, I made up my mind. That's all I had. Sorry? I decided I have to defend myself in there. How could that have worked? Well, there you made an appearance. A student of law, wouldn't you know? 'Tis no accident, I can assure you of that. 'Tis fate. So don't get cold feet now, please. Oh boy. I literally know nothing about the case, or about this man who stands accused. In fact, the only thing I do know is that I can't just turn my back on him. Well, let's go. Mr. Naruhodo. The man has no one. He'll have to stand alone in that courtroom, armed with nothing to defend himself. Yes, something that Cosmo would have never allowed to happen. Counsel for the defense! What are you doing? If you're late for the start of the trial, you'll lose your right to stand! Oh, I'm right there. Ugh. It's happening then. My first trial in a British court. I hope you're watching over me, Kazuma. Because I have no idea how I'm going to manage this. Oh, it's not even a to be continued. We're just going into this. Sweet. Whoa. Talk about... fancy. Ooh. So this is the highest court in Great Britain. The Old Bailey. The centuries of history in this place is palpable, isn't it? It's so different to the Supreme Court in Japan. Yeah, holy cow. I mean, I've been in the English courtroom before, and in Leighton versus Phoenix Wright, of course, totally. Except that was like 100 years later. But yeah, this place is really fancy. Holy cow! I swear, if the judge has a powdered wig, I'm gonna be very surprised and not surprised. It's supposed to be imposing and serene at the same time. That's the atmosphere almost makes the word redundant. Yeah, there was no fire. Like, whatever the country, determining a person's guilt or innocence is always a solemn affair. May I say something, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh, yes, what? Your eyes look ready to pop out of your head again. I know, but I just can't help it! Could be a powdered wig. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. We are here today to determine the guilt or innocence of Mr. Magnus McGilded. Now I call upon the counsels for prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed. The prosecution is fully prepared. That must be the Reaper of the Bailey. He really does look fully prepared to dispatch his next poor victim to the underworld. And he should probably have a more dark and brooding voice or something. Or I don't know. Like, counsel for the defense, you appear to be Eastern. Do you speak English? Huh? Oh, yes, of course. Sorry. But he asked if the defense was ready, and I couldn't be further from ready if I tried. Those eyes please me, Nipponese. Nipponese! Oh boy. They shroud your fear, your doubt, your trepidation. They run wild, clinging to some phantom notion of courage. The quintessential look of a sacrificial lamb. Cold shiver just ran down my spine, all the way to the tips of my toes. Now, Mr. McGilded. Yes, my lord. You stand accused of murder, a capital offense. You could be sent to the gallows if found guilty. Are you quite sure you wish to entrust your defense to this foreigner? As I've always said, my lord, it is a grand thing to give opportunities to the young. Even if the fella is a student from some little island up in the Far East. It is is it not the British way to ignore the dangers of TSF and give those less fortunate a fair chance? Thanks? I'd like to take it that acts of chivalry to the great British Empire proud. Listen to Mr. McGilded. What a fine gentleman London has in him. Did you hear that he donated £5,000 to the government the other day? Mother, please, don't play McGilded Park. It seems as though everyone in the public gallery is firmly behind Mr. McGilded. That's definitely welcome news. And he certainly has a way with words. I'm surprised he couldn't convince anyone to defend him. We're about to see why, aren't we? Eloquently put, Mr. McGilded. And the most laudable sentiments. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I'm sure I need hardly remind you, jury, that you 6 members of the public have been selected for your impartiality. Are you ready to proceed? Yes, my lord. If the task is to send rotters to the gallows, that's where they belong. I'm more than ready. At the manor, his lordship always says we should dispose of rubbish promptly. Naturally, I agree. Any criminal here will still be wishing they never set eyes on me. Who let the juryman come with an unsheathed knife? Oh boy. I feel a chill. Oh, don't mind me, dear. I'm just getting on with my ditching. Must be cheap mix for my grandson. Aww. Is it unheard of? Those people are the jury. Yes, that's something we don't have in Japan yet. That's right, I've only ever read about it. But here in Great Britain, the court's final verdict depends on the opinions of these 6 jurors. The judge passes sentence according to the law, but the jurors determine guilt based on common sense. So the defendant is ultimately judged from 2 completely different points of view. But how exactly do the jurors give their verdict? That I don't know, but I'm sure it will become clear as the trial progresses. Yes. Okay. Prosecutor Van Zeeks. I think I'm pretty sure it's Zykes. My lord, it's been a number of years since we've seen you in the courtroom. I thought you renounced your fame. But I'm known as the Reaper of the Bailey, my lord. Infamy rather than fame, I would say. But yes, 5 years have passed since I last spread my wings in this capacity. Huh? Well, lucky us! So, what brings you back? Is there some change of circumstance of which the court should be aware? I leave that to your imagination, my lord. So the Reaper has been out of action for 5 years. Why did we have to choose today of all days to make a comeback? Don't lose heart, Mr. Naruhodo. I swear, Ace Attorney is basically a wrestling story. Or it's like a wrestling arc. It's just instead of wrestling, it's court debating. like 5 years out of the ring, and now he's back to get his for his comeback. As you wish, sir. The court nevertheless welcomes your return. Now then, opening statements, I think. A summary of the case, if you please. Certainly, my lord. As your lordship is aware, this is a case of overwhelming simplicity. We must be the only ones in here who aren't aware. Yeah, A5 did take the analogy a bit literally. The incident took place in the late evening. 3 days passed. The hour was some minutes after 10. The victim was a maker of floating bricks known in the community as Thrice Fried Mason. Sorry, Thrice? He was a very accomplished craftsman. The bricks he fired were said to be almost indestructible. Oh, well, why'd he have to fire them? I mean, didn't they do their job at I mean, I would think being indestructible is great for a job security. Oh, how fancy! The victim's corpse was discovered in an omnibus in service of the streets of London at the time. A dagger that has been thrust into the victim's abdomen is believed to be the ultimate cause of death. Here is the autopsy report from the investigating medical officer at Scotland Yard. Thank you, Counsel. I shall accept that and the photograph as evidence. Alright, evidence. Like, this feels like this kind of feels like the first case all over again, in a way. Or feels like a first case of other games, but it's the third case, so it's like, ooh. And one further item of evidence. The prosecution wishes to submit these as well. Oh, a pair of gloves, big gloves. And these are... Good lord! Is that blood, Counsel? Yes, my lord. Seized by a policeman who arrived at the scene. These gore-soaked gloves were taken from the hands of the accused when he was arrested. What? Mr. McDonald's gloves had blood on them? Yes, I will accept these as evidence as well. Oh boy, that doesn't look good. How did I get into this? I backed to a corner before I even started! Continuing. According to the driver of the omnibus and this hecka-looking scroll, there were only 2 passengers traveling inside his vehicle at the time. Only 2. Obviously, one of those passengers was the deceased brickmaker, Mr. Mason. A mason is a brickmaker, so and the other was the accused, Magnus Fielded. Well, rather damning circumstances, I say, to say the least. Defendant, what say you? Well, of course, I have no recollection of such a thing. Mr. McGilded, to be sure, I rode the omnibus that evening, but whenever I'm in the carriage, I'm taken with a fierce tidiness that I've always succumbed to. Good. Are you claiming to have been asleep? 'Tis the motion of the carriage, my lord, lifting it, littling, so it is, don't. And when I opened my eyes again, 'twas a desperate sight before me, the body of a man I'd never laid eyes on before in me life. Now I ask you, what a good-hearted soul wouldn't rush to help a fella bleeding from his stomach? I wasn't about to start worrying about me gloves now, was I? I reached out to give the man a hand. So the blood got on the gloves. Then, after the man had been killed, unfortunately, that statement of the driver is only the beginning. What? That's not all of it? Yeah, that is a that is unfortunate because it's actually like the thing is when I'm like on my actual live feed, it's actually there's like a split-second delay in like on my end, so I try to have it so that it's balanced out like that, so it balances out, but I don't really have like there's I'm bound to be a little like a slight margin of error. So I tried like correcting it, but there's still going to be a slight margin of error. There were multiple witnesses to the precise moment at which the brickmaker was fatally stabbed. Oh boy. Order! 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 But when the killing took place, only the victim and the accused were inside the carriage, and there were witnesses to the crime. This is not just a case of compelling evidence. It's the nail in the coffin for the accused. Thank you, counsel. The circumstances of the crime have been made quite clear. I think we will hear testimony from these witnesses first of all. Your wish is my command. Bailiff, bring the witnesses in it at once. I'm a little interested in seeing what the oh boy, we're starting with three witnesses. Jeez. Witnesses, your names and occupations. My name, well, everyone calls me Beppo. I drive an omnibus in East End. Are you okay, bruh? Bruce Fairplay. I'm a banker in the city. Oh my goodness. My name's First. Lady First. Oh my gosh! Ah! These pines! These freaking names! Lady First. I make hats for gents. Oh my gosh! Let's begin by confirming the fact. I've never felt so face palmy when it came to an Ace Attorney name before this. Like, oh my gosh! 3 days ago, at a short time after 10 o'clock in the evening, all of you present in the stand were in an omnibus and witness to the aforementioned incident. Also, I believe I believe that it's only been secondhand information I've got, but I'm pretty sure most of the English names, or at least most of the names outside of the Japanese, were actually changed. I actually changed to in the localization. Because I believe in the Japanese version they were English names that were based on Japanese puns. So a literal translation would not work in the whole punniness kind of thing. I mean, I could be wrong, but yeah. Is that correct? Yes, sir. Quite right. Yes, sir. That's right, sir. Very well, then. Let's proceed to your formal testimonies, please. Each of you will tell the court precisely what you saw. Oh boy. Witness testimony. It was the last bus of the evening, so I had a few customers. I remember it well. The victim and the man accused of killing him were sat next to each other inside the bus. Then, out of the blue, the accused just reached over and plunged the knife right into his guts. That's right, you stabbed him! I screamed, I did, couldn't help it! Is that Hat? Oh, is he okay? As soon as I heard the scream, I stopped my bus, and then I saw it too! Oh boy. Unambiguous testimony, I must say. Exactly my lord. Each man witnessed the incident in the omnibus with their own eyes. I'd like to ask a question if I may. Yes, counsel? Well, this testimony makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever. Why not? Well, the incident took place inside a moving carriage, didn't it? As has been clearly stated from the outset, yes. Well, in that case, how could those two witnesses possibly have seen what happened? There's no way they could have seen the inside of a moving carriage. How quaint. I read that that civilization of the Eastern Island nations was a good century behind our own. Ow! But you're here in London yourself. Are you really so ignorant about our omnibuses? Huh? Tell me, my Nepalese friend, have you even traveled in an omnibus? And also, I believe, the way he referred to, Naruhodo, was a lot more, ruthless and mean in the original Japanese. I believe that's the case. Well, no, we, only arrived in London this morning. No matter. I've arranged for us to see for ourselves the actual scene of the crime, that is. What do you mean? The actual scene? How? A carriage is designed to be moved, after all. Presumably you understand that much. Are you bringing it in? Yes? The omnibus in which this bloody crime took place is here today, in this very building. Here? What? The entire carriage? Bailiff, bring forth the stricken omnibus. Oh boy. So that's an omnibus. The omnibus. I can't believe they could bring something so enormous in here. Great Britain's courtrooms are amazing. First it's Adam Reed fast. As you can see, the omnibus is pulled by 2 horses and can carry up to 8 passengers. 4 passengers seated inside the enclosed cabin, and another 4 on the rooftop deck above. So the other witnesses were on the top then? Every Londoner knows that the best views of the city architecture and sights are to be had from the top of an omnibus. And I should point out to our foreign guests that there is a skylight in the roof, allowing the view of the interior for the seats above, and the view of the other passengers' boots. Ah, skylight! Oh! The penny drops at last, I see. These 2 gentlemen were occupying the rooftop seats on the omnibus where the murder took place. That's how they came to witness the grim incident, through the skylight. That makes perfect sense. Well, counsel, this is a first. In all my years behind the bench, I've never experienced this crime scene itself being brought into the courtroom. There are a number of important clues remaining inside the carriage, Lord. I would like to submit the omnibus itself as evidence. That is the prosecution's wish. Oh, it is a powdered wig. Very well. I see no reason why not. The omnibus is hereby fully accepted as evidence. Oh boy. I can't believe that the entire crime scene entered as evidence! Yes, Great Britain is simply extraordinary. I could help myself a lot by giving that omnibus a thorough examination, seeing as it's here. I kind of do want to look through that. Oh boy, there's a lot to unpack here. Well, let's open the door and get inside it, shall we? The scene of a murder. It's horrible. Oh, blood. That's blood on the that's soaked into the seat. The victim's, obviously. Yes, and the seat that would be clearly visible from the roof deck. Would you really stab someone in full view of the other passengers like that, I wonder? Well, if it was after dark, and there was a lamp on in here, surprised the culprit couldn't see anything outside outside the skylight. Whichever way you look at it, it doesn't seem like it was a planned attack. Yeah, I don't think at least a smart criminal would probably not do it in here. Ah, that's a poster for a great exhibition. It's due to start 6 months from now. There's a lot of focus being drawn to the Crystal Tower, the centerpiece of the whole exposition. Oh, the Crystal Tower. It's under construction already, I believe. People all over London must be fizzing with excitement at the prospect of such a grand event. Ah, that's a poster for the Great Exhibition introducing... Oh. Wait a minute. Huh. Okay, I thought that's a notice. You could barely read it, but I can't really make much sense of it. Okay, let's take a look further. Anyway, these seats. So this is the roof deck of the omnibus. Oh, you must have a wonderful view of London streets from up here. So people sit all the way up here on bitter winter nights with the cold air rushing past them. I guess it is winter, so that's probably why the guy is cold. And they have to pay money to do so? Brr, I can't imagine how cold it must feel. That just made me think of something horrible. Can you imagine being dragged around the city in the freezing cold as punishment? Perhaps that is the real price you pay to stay out late. And here's the skylight. You can certainly see what's inside the carriage through this opening, that's for sure. Yes, and there's a lamp in the enclosed cabin, so I'm sure the witnesses would have been able to see quite clearly. That's not good for us. And the sign? Okay. Oh, there's a ladder here. I mean, that's how you get up there. Although, I'm really bad with ladders, so I don't know if I can actually get on or off of this. Also, you know, that's a bit of a tight fit. Like getting up there and then having to sidle around that. Like that seems a bit uncomfortable. Anyway, I mean, I do have really big thighs, so that also could just be my problem. Pray don't expect this leap of me astray to understand the intricacies of British courts' cross-examination rights. Alright. My first cross-examination in a British court. Focus, Ryunosuke. Focus. Alright. I was trying to press.
Hold it!
Yes, I think it was sometime after 10, wasn't it? Oh, yes. Yes, sir, that's right, sir. Yes, ever so cold it was freezing, in fact. And you had 4 passengers on board at the time, is that correct? Yes, that's right, sir. Not all traveling in the same part of the bus, of course. No. There were no other passengers when the incident took place. No one alighted, for example. You're quite right with that, sir. No other passengers like that. No, none. So nobody fled the scene of the crime then. I have to say, the boss insists on it running. He does every evening. That last of the day. But I do wonder if it's altogether worthwhile. Yeah, it's hard to say. What do you mean by that? Well, would it being so cold and everything, and only making 20 pence on the run, you see? Yes, I spent much of the pub on the way home, just trying to warm up again. Sounds like a Tuesday. The victim and the man accused of it were sat next to each other inside the car. And you saw them through the skylight in the roof of the carriage? That's right. When you sit on the top deck, the window's right there at your feet. Yep. There was a lamp on inside, so I had a pretty good view. The two of them were wearing hats, and I couldn't exactly make out their faces. But there's not a shred of doubt in my mind that it was Mr. McGilded. How can you be so sure? Well, how can I put it politely? Mr. McGilded is a gentleman of rather small stature. I could have mistaken him for anyone else. Let's not forget that when the vehicle came to a halt, the only people inside the enclosed cabin were the deceased Mr. Mason and Mr. McGilded. There's no room for doubt here. I really wish that it was. Then out of the blue, the accused just reached over and plunged a knife right into his guts. Ah, frick. I keep forgetting the buttons for some reason. You actually saw the exact moment it happened? Didn't I already testify to that? Or our fair dinkum hardworking city banker is not considered trustworthy these days. Oh, no! I didn't mean that. This is no good. I really got his back up. Perhaps you could just tell us what you saw in a little more detail if that's... My lord! Huh? Juror number 3. What's the meaning of this? My mind is made up, my lord. Completely and utterly made up. Made up about what? I don't like the stinking rich. Never have. They're always up to something or other that they shouldn't be. Ever one of them. And that little leprechaun of a man is no exception. Well, he can't fool me. Okay. Very impartial jury. There's no point wasting time listening to any more of it. That's my opinion on the matter anyway. Wait. Oh, it's precisely what I have to say. Oh, frick. As a foreman of the jury, it's my duty to set a good example to my fellow jurors. Oh boy! What is happening here? Let me see. Ah, yes. It seems that's how the members of the jury give their verdicts. With fire? Apparently, yes. White for innocence and black for guilty. As the 6 members of the jury make up their mind about the case, one by one, they each cast a ball of fire into the great scales of justice, as we saw a moment ago. Doesn't that seem a bit dangerous? So, if these enormous scales fall completely to the black side, does that mean... Let's do our very best to make sure that doesn't happen. Now I'm even more worried than I was before! Very well. The court acknowledges the change in the jury's stance. Counsel for the defense, please continue with your cross-examination. This is a nightmare! Huh, that didn't change the statement. But I wonder if you could actually go through this without the jury doing that.
Hold it!
He stabbed him, you say? And you were sitting up on the roof deck, were you? Yes, that's right, sir. I was on the roof seats.
Excuse me!
Oh, frick, sorry. Oh, frick. I forgot. Don't worry. By the way, you always seem to be looking to the side, one way or another. Do you have some affliction? Not really. He's not really willing to say anything, it seems. It's none of your business anyhow. Okay, let's try that again. I forgot that, like, I didn't think you were actually able to say excuse me, even if they don't. Yeah, that's right, sir. It was on the roof seats. I remember seeing the little gent sitting next to the fellow that was stabbed. I've been thinking that a new hat design, you see, so I was just gazing absentmindedly around. But then I happened to look down through the skylight. It was sticking right at his belly. It's a huge, great knife! A grim sight indeed. That didn't help me at all! The jury looks like they're even more convinced that my client did it than they were before. It made everyone even more dubious that Rigo is telling the truth. If only we had some evidence to counter their suspicions. Mr. First. Oh, yes, sir? Is this the knife you saw? Oh, good grief, yes! That's it! The very one, sir! Is that? Yes, Counsel. This is the blade that was driven into the victim's belly like a stake through the heart. So you're saying that the Mason was a vampire? This is the blade of considerable size, Counsel. It is, and furthermore, the scabbard is emblazoned prominently with a certain initial. The letter M, which seems oddly familiar. Please, no! M. For magnets, perhaps? Or McGilded, possibly? Take your pick. It seems this particular big name in London made a magnificent mistake.
Objection!
But there are M's everywhere. Like, yes, like in Mason.
Objection!
What the heck? This blade is far too extravagant for a poor brickmaker to have owned. No, this weapon of murder almost certainly belongs to the accused. Not conclusive, but certainly compelling, counsel. Okay, well we got the murder weapon. My lord, if you'll forgive the interruption. Juror number 2. Go on. Mr. McGillicuddy is a pillar of society and a gentleman, and a gentleman's word should be sacrosanct. However, those of us in service know we must accept hard truths. Wait, what are you about to do? Those are the rubbish. No. I don't wish to cause offense, but I do like to eradicate all traces of filth and grime. I have painstakingly typed every word uttered here today and cross-referenced all the facts. As such, I am now in a position to draw the only logical conclusion. Oh boy. Not again! That's 4 out of 6 jury members who proposed a guilty verdict. There are only 2 left. We've had it. Every time I press these witnesses for more information, I just make the situation worse. Nevertheless, what we need more than everything at the moment is more information. We're still very much in the dark. I suppose I'll just have to keep pressing the witnesses, knowing that more sparks may well fly. We mustn't give up hope that we'll uncover something that will give us a way to fight back. But alright, I'll keep trying. I can't give up. I'll just need to keep calm and listen to the witnesses' statements again. One last thing. As soon as I heard the scream, I stopped the bus and then I saw it too. What exactly did you see? Oh, sir, the passenger, sir. Yeah, collapsed to the floor he was. And by the passenger, obviously you're referring to the victim, Mr. Mason, the brickmaker. And the other passenger had a knife in his head, like this. By the other passenger, obviously you're referring to the accused, Mr. Magnus Gilded. And then he plunged it down like this, stabbing the other passenger in the belly. What? Great! My lord, I wish to speak. Yes, juror number 5? Do I take it that you, too, as the master of the London Guild of Coachmen, the idea of a murder being committed in one of the city's carriages is utterly abhorrent to me. It wouldn't be right to make a decision before hearing all the facts, though, I said to myself. But I've heard enough now. The horse has bolted, as they say. No, please, just keep it overnight a little more. Yep, now, Silver Blade. Let's finish it in sight. Oh, great. Beppo is a long-standing member of the guild, and I trust what the man says. Oh, thank you, sir. You're too kind, sir. Oh, this is too unkind, sir. Which now means that 5 jurors agree to condemn this man. Right? And Grandma. Madam Juror number 6. Yes, dear? What can I do for you? You have heard the testimonies of the witnesses in the stand. Oh, yes, I certainly have. Still, I got my hearing, you know. Then, pray tell, why are you yet to pronounce your leaving? Well, dear, the thing is, I'm a creature of me. I always go to the park at around this time of day and sit on a nice bed to get on with my knitting. There's a lovely little park just near where I live. McGilded Park, it's called. These gentlemen donated seem to know, to put a smile under their faces, he said. I can't imagine such a fine young gentleman would have it in him to take another man's life. He's always doing wonderful things for the city. That's right, a man like that wouldn't stab someone, surely. Madam, may we go to McGill Public Library next to borrow some more books? Please, sir. Please, ma'am. How many Londoners live with their heads in the clouds? Do you people not know what kind of man Magnus McGilded really is? What kind of man he is? The philanthropist, Magnus McGilded, has enough wealth to purchase this entire city he claims to value so highly. But where did all that wealth come from? Your client is a Shylock, and one with the very darkest of souls. What? Stone the crows! McGilded lends money at extortionate rates of interest, so his victims have no hope of repaying him. When they default, he takes possession of everything they own. He's a vulture that preys on the weak. I've never heard any mention of this before. Your faculties haven't deserted you, I'm sure, madam. So has this thought not crossed your mind? Would a man wealthy enough to buy London in its entirety not have a carriage of his own? What possible reason could this man have had to make use of a public omnibus service? You're not saying that the victim, a poor brickmaker, had next to nothing to his name, save considerable financial liability. It will come to no surprise that his creditor was the accused Magnus McGilded. But let it also be known that the very day Mr. Mason was killed was the final repayment date for his debts. Good gracious! The brickmaker was destitute. He had lost his house, and he had no shilling which to pay his debts. And in the end, his pitiful soul had the very last thing he owned taken from him, his life. By the merciless philanthropist put under Magnus McGilded. I don't believe it.
Hold it!
If I might add something briefly, Mrs. Sato, you claim that the victim had been lent money by Mr. McGilded, but where's the evidence to support your claim? Was that always there? Pray forgive the discourtesy of filling my hallowed chalice in a court of law. There it is! Lord Van Zeke's hallowed chalice! How can this be considered acceptable? But I find myself in unexpectedly good humor. I had heard ladies from the Far East could show great courage, but I didn't expect to experience it myself. As the original assistant of the defense, I'm simply doing my job. What a pity that your display of courage is in vain. This is the debtor's ledger, which details all monies owed by the accused. You will find the victim's name clearly recorded inside. Oh! Allow me to present this ledger as evidence. And pray forgive the discourtesy of drinking my chalice and toast to enigmatic East at the same time. A marvelous toast, Counsel. I will gladly accept this new evidence. Well, at least we got evidence, but... Oh boy! Ah yes, 20 guineas. The victim owed a considerable sum. And the accused made quite certain he had ample recompense. Well, it would seem I've had the wool pulled over my eyes. Look grimly, madam. That is the modus operandi of the accused. And it's such a pretty little puck too. A scoundrel. Uh-oh! Still? Maybe it's all for the best. Wait a minute! Let's think about this a little more before... I don't stand for nonsense. Oh, frick. Well, guess it's over. That was it. The last juror's decision. According to this Encyclopedia of British Law, when all members of the jury have concluded that the defendant is guilty, court proceedings are suspended, and the presiding judge will deliver the final verdict and sentence. That's what it says here. The final verdict. It's over then. Oh. There's a footnote, though. A footnote? However, the defense. All 6 members of the jury are now in agreement in this case. What about the footnote? What about the footnote? Allow me to convey my respect to your swift and righteous decision. According to the laws of this country, I will now conclude the trial and deliver my final verdict. I trust there are no objections. Sato, just tell me one thing. Oh, yes? You were in the middle of saying something before. The footnote in your Encyclopedia of British Law. However, the defense... What did it say next? Oh, yes, of course. A moment. When all members of the jury have concluded that the defendant is guilty, court proceedings are suspended and the presiding judge will deliver the final verdict and sentence. Then the footnote says, however, the defense has the right to demand a summation examination of the jurors at this point. Summation examination? What's that?
Objection!
Summation examination. From which century has that tome you have been there been resurrected? Judging from the binding, I would say that book is at least 50 years old. Any modern text on British law wouldn't even give such an antiquated procedure a mention. It's a relic, long forgotten, certainly no longer practiced. So you're out of luck. Hold on. What even is it, Mr. Sato? The so-called summation examination. Oh, one moment. I'll read about it. You would demand the right to a procedure before you even understand what it entails? I mean, like, a MacGuffin... I mean, technically a MacGuffin is something that's not... Like, that has... Like, that its only value is that it's wanted. That's, like a literary MacGuffin, at least. Like, if it's... Like, if it has a use aside from being wanted, then it's not a MacGuffin. But yeah, I think I understand. It seems that under this procedure, you would be able to appeal to the members of the jury. To do what exactly? To appeal to them to change their meaning and reverse their decisions. And it says here that, if successful, the proceedings of the trial must be resumed. Make them reverse their decisions. Yes, in times gone by, the barristers would use a summation examination to attempt to influence the jury's decision, but that procedure became something of a formality, with no practical benefit really, so rather fell out of use. I wonder why. Because it was devoid of purpose. Changing just one member of the jury's mind would be hard enough, let alone several. No self-respecting defense barrister would even assert his right to try in this day and age. Well, hold my chalice then. Or hold your chalice. Still, I don't see any mention of the procedure actually being formally revoked. What are you suggesting? I'm suggesting that although it may be antiquated and later forgotten, it isn't yet extinct. What do you think, Mr. Nahoda? A summation examination, our last possible option. Do we assert our right to carry it out, or admit defeat? Assert our right? For goodness sakes. The defense wishes to assert its right to a summation examination, my lord.
Objection!
London is the capital city of the most powerful nation on earth. We have a duty to the world to exemplify the very highest standards of judicial procedure. Summation examinations are an embarrassment that should remain buried.
Objection!
But if it's our right, it's our right. I believe it could prove vital in this trial. The defense position is perfectly valid. The court will proceed with the summation examination. This is madness. Foreman, are you and the remainder of the jury ready? Eh? Well, I'm not, there was no mention of this in the letter I received, you see. So, all members of the jury will be asked to explain on what grounds they have reached their decision. On what grounds? You must all justify your decisions and explain why you believed the defendant to be guilty. Well, my lord, you're rather putting us on the spot. This is most irregular. No mention of this with me before. I don't really hold with all this justifying lock. I'm sure she'll be ready. That seems to have thrown the jurors off. It seems none of them have experienced this before. Alright then, the summation examination. A defense procedure no practicing lawyer has attempted for years, is it? Well, it just may be. it might be the opportunity we've been looking for to turn this trial around. So be it then. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the court hereby calls upon you to state the grounds on which you find the defendant Magnus Begonin guilty of this most serious crime. Alright then. Oh boy. This is exciting. There was no one else inside the carriage at the time, so it has to be him. I trust the driver. He has an excellent memory, it seems. 4 passengers, with fares totaling 20 pence. Wait, what? Wait a minute. Yeah, actually, that would. Wait, that would actually, yeah, that would. He stuck at the chap next to him like this, brazen. I must say, absolutely brazen. I have simply typed and collated all this statements made thus far and drawn the logical conclusion. You can trust the guild. Fair fares is our motto. We haven't raised prices above 4 pence and bring it up! That scoundrel stabbing the poor man on the floor, it beggars belief. I'm starting to wish I hadn't pushed for this now. No, we got this. Some jurors don't seem to have wonderfully formed arguments though, do they? Well, let's see what we can do. We need to get these 6 people to change their minds. I'll have to throw everything I can at them and use a very persuasive language. Just a moment, Mrs. Naruhodo. Chotomate. According to my book, that's not quite how it works. Oh? I thought I was going to have to throw Father Icy Minds with some heartwarming rhetoric about the defense. Unfortunately, once the jurors have decided that the defendant is guilty, they're unlikely to heed anything the defense says. But then, they've reached their conclusion by their own reasoning, you see. Your pleas will sound like excuses. In fact, it could recoil on you. The more you try to persuade them, the more entrenched they may become. That is true. That is something that, kind of an actual thing that, where someone, doing that would actually, enters the same kind of, I believe have, the same, affects the brain the same way as actual pain or something like that, as if being attacked. The more you try to persuade them, the more intense they become. What are we supposed to do? Oh dear, I'm just citing what I read about in British law, Mr. Naruhodo. Right, I'm sorry. Do you have any idea how to make this work then? Maybe use their arguments against them? Well, I don't understand. The key to this procedure is using the jurors' own words to make your arguments. Aha! What do you mean? Well, the 6 members of the jury are randomly selected members of the public. They may appear to present a united front, but the truth is they're complete strangers who just happen to find themselves here in the courtroom together. And that's the way to break them down, you mean? Exactly. We must listen very carefully to what each member of the jury says, and see if we can identify any contradictory statements. If we can, then contrast the statements. We then contrast the statements and pit the corresponding jurors against each other. I see. So it's contradictions in what 2 or more juries say that we're looking for. In a way, then, this is similar to regular cross-examination. Oh, yes, I suppose you're right. Find contradictions in their statements, and pit the jurors against one another to break them down. Alright, I might be able to pull this off. No, that's not right. I will pull it off. I have to pull it off! Can we start proceedings, counsel? I would ask you to take the stand for this, on a clear and concise rebuttal. Yes, my lord. Okay. Defense's rebuttal. Okay, so we can still press. So let's do that.
Hold it!
Certainly, the testimonies we've heard suggest the victim and Mr. McGilden were alone inside the carriage. Precisely my point. But could there be some other explanation, something we haven't considered yet? Such as... perhaps that's something we could, all work out together now. And now listen here, maybe you don't know how things work around here because you're from foreign climes. But we're here to form our opinions as individuals, as I have. Oh dear, he doesn't appear to be in the mood to consider an alternative point of view, does he? You know, I'm going to have to pit the jurors against one another. That's what Sada said. That's the only way I've learned to succeed. But I'm going to adjust the driver who will exit away from 4,000 repairs and lose 20 pence.
Hold it!
But does his ability to recall his takings that night really tell us how trustworthy the man is? I manage all of his lordship's cash affairs, so I'm very particular when it comes to accounts. I see. A single penny can mean the difference between life and death after all, can it? That's a saying in your country? My point is, a man who minds his figures is a man you can trust. Those of us in service would swear to that, sir. Does that bench really need any more polishing? So, sounds a good driver says that he promised to reserve it, and yet, I don't doubt him. The only task left to do is disposing of the rubbish. Now wait a minute. One of the other jurors meant to speak about money, I think. One of the other times I listened carefully to the jurors' statements again. If he's never been inconsistent, I get it. I just want to press everyone!
Hold it!
Careful, you hurt someone with that. You're fine when to talk. What of that sword hanging from your waist, huh? No, that's just my battered soul. Well, anyway, I despise anyone who has too much money. They're all the same. I'll stab you some maker or other behind the scenes. You mark my words.
Objection!
That seems very unlikely, does it? Doesn't it? Are you mad, man? We know that small shorty is a rotten Shylock. Well, yes, that does seem to be the case, but does it not hurt to please be careful what you say? If he's been trying to squeeze money out of us less fortunate, then as far as I'm concerned, he is guilty of sin. The man can hang. Come to think of it, did any of the other jurors have anything to say about the defendant's underhand activities? If you found something different, don't let it go. Test your theory. Ted, I know! I'm sorry, but I want to press everyone. I like pressing.
Hold it!
What have you been doing all the time? Or what have you been doing all this time then? I should have thought it was obvious. I'm recording everything that takes place as part of the proceedings. And what have you learned from that? For example, at this moment of time, the judge has used his gavel 11 times in total. The prosecution has sorted derisively among 7 times in total. And I might add, each time you have got it like a simpleton. Thank you. And what's the point exactly? So anyway, madam, are you able to explain why you think the defendant is guilty? That is the conclusion I have drawn as a result of this no fair fight. Clearly, but I'm asking you why you've drawn that conclusion. Please don't instruct me. It makes it extremely hard to concentrate on my note keeping. Okay. Thanks for letting me know. Let me see. Okay, I'll try that. You can hear the guild. Fair fares is our motto. We haven't raised the price of about 4 pence for years.
Hold it!
That's how much it costs to take the omnibus? That's right. And the guild master, I decided to set a policy for all drivers across the city. 1 fare, no matter the bus you take or how far you're going. We have to compete with the rise of the motor car, you see. Us coachmen have to make a stand together. Motor cars, you say? Yes, and this murder on one of our buses is extremely damaging to a cause. It's beyond the pale. It'll lead to a collision of passengers. You'll mark my words. It is for all that rescue assaults he has to pay. Is this the crime or his buses he's more worried about? Anyway, every member of the guild is reliable and trustworthy. So if the driver says he saw him do it, this fellow in the dock is as good as sin. The scoundrel stabbing the poor man on the floor, it beggars belief!
Hold it!
Beggars belief.
I think you should really stop waving that needle around.
You heard what the big toasted did before, didn't you? That hideous man stabbed the poor fellow, just like this.
Yes, that's what he said, you're right.
The gilded party is a lovely little place too. I always enjoyed resting my legs there while I get on with my knitting. And I had thought that anyone who studied such a delightful place must be a fine fellow indeed. I suppose I was wrong. Whoever would have thought him the miserable moneylender, file of secrets, and not with a scrap of remorse.
Oh, help. She's as sure as it sure can be that she's guilty now. The old lady certainly seems to know her mind, doesn't she? Okay. So, we just need to find two jurors with contradictory statements and put them against... Wait a minute! Wait a minute! Wait a minute. Which is easier said than done. Wait a minute. Game, Game, you're drunk. Is that Game, I think you're drunk. Is that perhaps what you were just thinking? How did you know? Well, I took the liberty of doing some research in case you happen to find yourself in such a situation. Can I read you what I found out? It's a little long, I'm afraid. Sure. Very well. Listen to this. The information and generation Okay, it's just a tutorial. The Chronicles defense should use it. You cannot choose the association of the juror you initially selected, nor can you choose associations of jurors who have changed their names to not guilty already. Once you compare the various jurors' assertions, work out which contradictions with each other, and put them together and pull them apart. Let's see. She wasn't joking when she said it was long. She said to listen very carefully to each individual juror has to say, and I'm sure you'll start to see which ones might not quite agree together. Alright then, let's get this right now, so I never have to listen to that long and boring explanation again! That's the spirit! Okay. 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 Okay, okay. Hit. There's the problem. You can trust guild, 4 pence per year, exit 4 passengers with fares totaling 20 pence. Now, I'm sure we know math, right?
Objection!
Those two statements clearly contradict each other. They do? Explain yourself, Counsel. Me? Oh, what have I said? I swear the silver blaze is made, and Nate, I haven't the first idea what you're talking about. According to the group testimony we've heard so far, boy, there were 4 passengers on the omnibus on the night in question, and according to the coachman, Mr. Beppo, he took 20 pence in fares. Quite right, I have those precise details neatly in front of me. And juror number 5 also told us the following. The fare for the omnibus is always 4 pence. That it is, a fair and convenient single price, just the way London's carriages should be operated. But that doesn't add up at all. In fact, it leaves a glaring discrepancy in the facts. Why, man? Why? 4 passengers paying 4 pence each. If you do that big multiplication, it would be 16 pence. Exactly. As I said, it doesn't add up. The figures are different. By 4 pence, in fact, or precisely one person's fare. One person's fare. Yes, in other words, on the omnibus that night, it's distinctly possible there was another passenger we've heard nothing about. Oh! gracious! This can't be right! Coachman of the guild are good, honest men! Want to know, trustworthiness is our watchword! The figures your coachman claims most certainly do not add up. Your watchword, good sir, is a fallacy. I beg your pardon? Mr. Guildmaster, I think you want to consider that if this trial were to end now, the news will surely spread all over London. The news that one of your coachmen tried to hide the fact that he lets nefarious characters ride his omnibus. Alright then, how do I make it so this miserable trial doesn't end, huh? Well, according to my book here, you simply launch the ball of fire onto the innocent side of the scales. Now hold your horses there! Coachman! We were all in agreement! Why do you have to go in? Wait till I get my hands on you, Beppo! This is all very irritating! I'm begging your pardon, sir. I'm going to do the same. Alright. You managed to get them to change their get two of them to change their minds. For the love of Mike, not you as well! A penny could be the difference between a smile and a tear, after all. I certainly can't put my trust in someone who doesn't follow my exacting standards in financial matters. Oh, really? I, for one, think it's only proper that we hear from the witnesses again. Well done, Mr. Naruto, you did it! If we can manage to change two more jurors' minds, we can force the trial to continue. Two more, actually. There is something else that's bothering me about a couple of their assertions. Then that's where you must strike next. So I need to pit two more jurors against each other and show that there's another contradiction in their assertions. Exactly. You could do it! Oh, the scales of justice have shifted, but they still weigh heavy on the side of guilt. Counsel, you have the floor again. Continue with your summation examination. I'm taking my leaning exactly here with this button. Okay, so I can't press the innocent. Good, thank goodness. I'm pretty sure. But this trial has to continue so I can get to the bottom of this corruption. Not guilty, I say. Okay. Stabbing on the floor. He struck the chap next to him like this.
Objection!
Those two statements are completely contradictory. What? Explain yourself, counsel. Post haste.
Oh, dearie me, I was only needing a jumper for my other half.
What is this claptrap? What's all this claptrap? What does contradictory even mean, I ask you? We've heard from more than one witness that they allegedly saw the actual moment when the defendant stabbed the victim. Now, out of curiosity, juror number 3, what? Can't you see I'm a little busy here? How would you say the defendant stabbed the victim? What sort of motion was it? Ha! Want me to test it, do you? It was like this, struck the fellow next to her without even getting up, like the prim Baker said. Yes, that it was Mr. Fairplay's testimony, quite true. That is still very dangerous! Now, then, juror number 6?
Oh, is that me, is it? Oh, what can I do for you, young man?
How would you say the defendant stabbed the victim, madam?
Oh, well, oh dear, as I understand it. It was like this! He stabbed the poor man after he collapsed on the floor! The ghostman said so!
Now don't move. Take a look at these two jurors. He struck the fellow next to him without even getting up. And he stabbed the poor man after he collapsed on the floor. Well, I never. They're stabbing in totally different directions.
What? Left my stitches with a muddle!
What this tells us is that there's a strong possibility one of the witnesses isn't telling the truth.
Oh,
but why? Why the dickens would they lie? I don't know that yet, but I do know that if the trial ends at this point, we may never find out. We may never know the real truth. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, can you really let that happen in all good conscience?
Lies say, oh dearie me. Dearie me. I cannot abide people telling lies.
Yes! The scales! I don't believe it! Why? Now here there's my fellow journalist. I warn you, you cannot listen to this man. Look at him in his black suit. He's clearly some serious Eastern sorcerer using magic on all of us. And if I could use magic, you really think I'd be putting myself through all this? And there's a bit of this duck jigs. Huh? Me? What exactly is the problem? What of it is two witnesses have slightly different recollections of events? What of it? Let's say the Shylock did stab the victim as he was sick the next room in the omnibus. And this young dandy saw him do it. And now let's say the victim collapsed on the floor and then this Shylock stabbed it again. And this old lady saw him do it. Well, but what's to say it didn't happen like that, huh? Who are you calling a dandy, sir? Why? Why I should take this knife to you?
You calling? Oh, why I should take this needle to you?
Ready to kill each other now. But could the foreman of the jury be right? Did the two witnesses see two different moments during the same crime? It's possible. It's true. There's an outside chance of almost anything you care to mention. Exactly the point I've been trying to make. Before you go any further, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, what is it, Mrs. Sasato? I think you should have a look through the court record. Oh, right, wait. You see, this evidence makes it quite clear. There isn't even an outside chance of what the jury say. How did I miss that? Frick, sorry. Unfortunately, Mr. Foreman. What is it, you jock jig? Come on, out with it! What you're suggesting is impossible. It's out of the question. Well, what are you talking about, man? How can you possibly say that? You realize I'm only doing my job? As foreman of the jury, I have the responsibility to steer everyone in the right direction. So where's your evidence, man? What? That's what we want to say. I say the two witnesses saw two different moments of the same crime. If you say that's out of the question, show me some proof. Okay, there's gonna be something about a single stab wound, right? Irreparable hard rip. As you wish. What? I'll give you the proof. It's in the question that the two witnesses saw two different moments of the same crime, as proven by... single stab!
Take that!
Take that! This is the victim's autopsy report. According to what's written here, Mr. Mason was stabbed in the abdomen. Only once. Eh? Only once? It's quite simple. The victim was stabbed precisely one time. Which means these witnesses can't possibly have seen it happen two different times. Alright, I can see defeat. Hey, we did it. Yay! Wait, that means 4 jurors are now leading to not guilty! You said it, Mr. Naruhodo. We've won! Well, we've won a chance to keep going. What are you playing at, you dandy fool? Shut your trap, sir. No one deceives me. Well, we had a consensus. I said trap your trap. I hear a liar when I see one, and if the chap ever dares to cross the threshold of my shop, I'll take this razor-sharp blade and shave every last hair off his head. Please tell me he's a barber. Well, in a quite remarkable turn of events, the defense's summation examination has split the balance of the scales of justice. The jurors now stand at 2 for guilty and 4 for not guilty. Accordingly, there is no longer a large enough majority among the jury for me to adjudicate, and the trial must continue. Woo! I hereby ask the defense, prosecution, and witnesses to return to their places. And I call upon all of you to continue to pursue the truth. Woo! So, Lord Van Sykes, continue to substantiate the case for the prosecution, if you please. Whoa! Whoa! Having savored the rich aroma of the carmine contents of his chalice. It may seem crass to crush it to dust. Pray forgive the discourtesy. Lord von Sykes! Is it cold in here, or is it just me? As your antiquated tome no doubt says, the prosecution may not speak during a summation examination, so I honored a deathly silence and listened to the charade. It seems I overestimated the intelligence of the jury. Oh, wow! Rude! Well, no matter. There is nothing so hard to prove as self-evident truth as it would seem. No. And why else would we grace the courtroom with our presence after all? So, let us proceed to the next round of battle. Oh! Bring forth the witnesses once more. So, witnesses, I trust you heard the summation examination we have just had to endure. Oh, yes, sir, I did, sir. Of course we heard it. Oh, yes, sir, I heard it. You, sir, on the end, the coachman, I believe it's Beppo? Yes, sir, my lord, sir. If it transpires that in your previous testimony, you were attempting to veil the presence of a fifth passenger on your omnibus, you will be found guilty of perjury. You are advised to bear that in mind, sir. Mio Dio. Now then, witnesses, I hereby call you to testify in the court again. You will explain the various misgivings brought to our attention by the defense's summation examination. Oh boy! I only carried 4 passengers that night, I swear! But, well, I for one was told I had to pay 5 pence for the bus. What? Right? He fiddled on the fare, he did, and I saw that blood-curdling sight as well. That's all too much! I tell you, I saw McGill stabbing that man. Everything I said before stands. Oh, yes, yeah, he stabbed him. Yes, he did. I think so, yes? Oh, boy. Counsel, make sense of this for me, please. The phantom fifth passenger conjured into existence by my learned Eastern friend never existed. The confusion has arisen from the coachman's sly little Kozanich? Beppo, explain yourself! Oh, I'm terribly sorry, Guildmaster. The guild's fare is 4 pence across the board. You know that. Am I to understand you've been overcharging our passengers by a penny a fare? It's so cold. That's one of the day is always half empty. You have been dishonest, coachman. I'm sorry. You're a disgrace, Beppo. A disgrace! And your selfish actions have brought dishonor to the entire guild. If I may, sir, I had to pay 10 pence on the bus this last week. What? 4 passengers at 5 pence each is, yes, 20 pence. I've done the arithmetic 10 times already, but I just can't make the result come out differently. No, that figures. Math is like that. Well, it would appear that one of the aforementioned misgivings had already been explained. So, counsel, for the defense, your cross-examination, if you please. You've already had the pleasure of a protracted summation examination today. I see you intend to continue this parlor games. Absolutely. Alright, let's go. I only carried 4 passengers that night, I swear.
Hold it!
So, there were only 4 passengers on your carriage, but you didn't charge them the standard 4 pence fare? Is that right? It's impossible to make the last run of the day today! It was so cold! It was all I could do to stop myself from passing out! I'm getting chilblains just listening to you. It was terrible, so I wanted to get myself a pound, but I couldn't even keep the bus running! Dedicated contributions deserve an extra pay for failure! You're digging a deeper hole for yourself here. If only there had been a 5th passenger on the omnibus that night, then we would have had another suspect. Oh boy. Well, I for one was told I had to pay 5 pence for the bus.
Hold it!
Does that mean everyone on board that night paid 5 pence instead of 4? Well, I paid 5 pence too, sir. And I just told you that I did. A five pence across the board! It's not something to be proud of. The so-called discrepancy my learned friend identified was nothing of the sort. Much like the phantom killer you so desperately needed, it's gone, dead and buried. I'd have been happy if it had ever existed in the first place. It fiddled most of the fairy did, and then I saw that blood-curdling sight, that's why I saw too much!
Hold it!
This blood-curdling sight? You mean the murder, I presume? Yes, sir! A loathsome sight. No one should have to witness the horror in the eyes of the man the moment his life is taken. Oh, well, not exactly, sir. I didn't actually see the exact moment the gent was stabbed. What? Really? We have another witness who did, however. The banker has already testified to it. But Mr. First didn't actually see the point at which the victim was killed. That may turn out to be very significant. I heard the banker jet next to me take a sharp intake of breath, you see? That's when I looked through the glass. That's when I saw the whole blade poking out of his belly, all covered in blood. Every time I see a knife now, I can't help screaming even when I'm eating. I tell you, I saw Miss Gilded stabbing the man. Everything I said before stands. So you saw the defendant, Mr. McGilded, stabbing the victim, Mr. Mason, who was sitting next to him? That's what I said, isn't it? It was bothering me before, this was. For just a brief moment, he hesitated before answering the question. Anyway, there was only 2 of them inside the carriage, wasn't there? There's been much talk of a 5th passenger, but as yet, 0 evidence. Then what are we wasting all this time for, eh? It's black and white, the man's guilty. Something about Mr. Fairplay's testimony just jars with me. I wish I could work out what it was. Oh, yes, he stabbed me, I think so, yes? You think so? Everything you testified that you saw the moment when the defendant allegedly stabbed the victim, didn't you? Come on. Oh yes, that's right. You said that the victim was on the floor and described the assailant holding the knife in ice pick grip. I suppose. I might have, yes, put the cart before the horse, maybe? What's this? Well, I'm quite sure about most of it. I was driving with the horses and I heard a scream from the seats of the roof deck. Oh, I expect that was me, sir. Then I turned around, yes, and I saw it through the skylight. The gentleman was on the floor, and the knife was sticking out from the roof. That's right, yes, and the fellow holding the hat was the famous man, yes! So, in short, you didn't see the moment when the victim was actually stabbed at all. I really thought I did, but when I go over to get in my head. No, I suppose I didn't actually see the precise moment of the stabbing, didn't I? Excuse me. Do you have something to say about this, Mr. Fairplay? Now you listen to me. I know what you're thinking. You didn't really see the exact moment the fellow was stabbed. What are the chances of that? Eh? Eh? You asking me or telling me? He's getting flustered. I have no idea. Like rubber, I guess. I might be able to extract some information from him if I answer him cleverly. Could he just happen to see the exact moment the crime was committed? Some days are like that. Well, I suppose some days are like that. Sooner or later, you'll see something you wish you hadn't. If you're always peeping through a skylight on the top of an omnibus. Peeping? I'm a respectable city banker, I'll have you know. And I know what I saw. I remember I saw it as clear as a Ballarat day. It was a grim sight, I don't mind telling you. Thank you, Mr. Fairplay. Oh, excuse me if I'm going a little hot on the color there, my lord. ask you to supplement your testimony with a clear statement about what exactly you saw. Oh, I could do that, alright. I'll tell you just how grim it was. Do you think I'd forget the sight of those blood-soaked hands after the butcher stabbed the man?
Hold it!
Blood-soaked? Well, perhaps soaked is laying it on a little thick. But anyway, there was definitely blood all over them. Both of them were covered in it. And you saw that from the roof, through the skylight. Well, the skylight's reasonably large, so I had a pretty good view. And there was a lamp on the inside of the carriage as well, so I'm quite sure what I saw. This banker's latest statement. I'm sure there's something not quite right about it. When you feel something doesn't add up, Mr. Naruhodo, that's when you should have a good look through the court record. Of course. Not long ago, this trial nearly came to an end. Somehow, we managed to keep our chances alive here. I can't waste this cross-examination. I had to use it to bring some new facts to light. So if you're not careful when you press these witnesses, the danger is that the jury will end up believing something unhelpful as they did before. Maybe, but we can't let the fear of that happening stop us from uncovering important new information. Yes, you're right. You're so right. I need to pay careful attention here. I don't want to miss even a flicker of a reaction among the witnesses. Remember, if you happen to spot one of the witnesses reacting in a certain way, yeah, we know. Like, pursue them at... Okay. Okay. Now, blood-soaked hands as the butcher stabbed the man. But... it's only on one glove. This is definitely blood, isn't it? Not the most pleasant sight to be confronted with on our first day in London. Well, nothing will come of grumbling now. No, by the way, is Mr. McGillard right-handed? Yes, I believe so. He was toying with a coin in his right hand a little earlier. So that would that... Right, okay, that would do it. Huh, pity. If only he had been left-handed. I think blood on either glove would be fairly incriminating, really. Yeah, really. I mean, you can always change your dominant hand sometimes. Also, there should be like a glowing ball right here, like with this angle, but just to make it look like some kind of, like, key. Like, ball of key being. Maybe. Anyway, yeah, let's present this.
Objection!
Objection. Blood-soaked hands? Well, I admit some might be laying it on a little thick, but anyway, there was definitely blood all over them. Both of them were covered in it. Well, I'm very sorry to disagree, Mr. Fairplay, but that's more than a little peculiar. What? Here are the gloves worn by the defendant, Mr. McGilded, on the night of in question. Oh, yes, right. And there certainly does appear to be a sizable dark-colored stain there, but as I'm sure you can clearly see, it's only on the right hand glove. Ah! In short, Mr. Fairplay, your testimony is inconsistent. Ah! But no! That can't be right! So you're a liar here then. Ah! That's right. You're quite clear about it. You said it was both hands. Mr. Fairplay, if your last statement was a lie, it calls your entire testimony into question. You say you saw the moment the victim was stabbed, but is that really the truth? Well.
Objection!
He keeps chewing on that. It was a simple mistake. You can't justify accusing this man of lying. Yes, it wasn't both hands. There was only one, but the fact remains. The victim's blood was on the accused.
Objection!
But, no, Mr. Fairplay categorically stated that he saw blood all over both hands. Which means there's a strong possibility that this witness was deliberately trying to mislead the court. Why? I'm a city beggar, for Christ's sake. My word should be a gold standard. Oh, gentlemen, that's some gutter snipe. Upstanding members of society don't prevaricate. He's claiming to have no reason to lie. But is that really the case? Mr. Naruhodo, if we had some evidence to explain why Mr. Fairplay might be lying, it could turn the tide in this trial completely. Something to show this man has a compelling reason to lie in his testimony. Wait a minute. This portfolio must contain all sorts of secrets of London gentry. Well, do you really think we ought to look inside? Well, it's not as though we know any of London's gentry personally, is it? Apart from our guest detective friend, perhaps. Actually, I wonder. I assure you we will not find Mr. Sholm's name inside. Well, let's see what we find. Oh, it's doctor's handwriting! Gosh, it's crammed full of gentlemen's names, isn't it? Well, I suppose they're probably not all gentlemen at all, are they? After all, not everyone in this country is well off. Goodness! What is it? Look at this! You see this name, the name here? Bruce Fairplay! Should that mean something to me? It does sound strangely familiar, actually. Bruce Fairplay, the witness testifying at this very moment. Oh yes, of course, the banker! Why is his name in here? He borrowed 20 guineas, did he? And look, the repayment date is fast approaching. It's possible that this is just a coincidence, of course, but this could be very useful information. Ah yeah! Ah yeah! We got it! I got the evidence right here. My lord. Yes, counsel? The defense is ready to present evidence. But by Jove, are you sure? Yes, evidence that will clearly demonstrate why Mr. Fairplay had a reason to lie in his testimony. Very well. I hereby call on the defense to present its evidence. The evidence demonstrates a motive for the witness's alleged deception to the court. Take that!
Take that!
This is a list of the debtors who owe money to Mr. McGoden. Yes, a list of innocent victims crippled by the accused extortion. The point is, among the names of these debtors is your name, Mr. Bruce Fairplay. What? Mr. Fairplay, are you currently indebted financially to the accused? No, well, it's barely worthy of being called a debt. According to this ledger, you owe 20 guineas. Not an inconsiderable sum of money, wouldn't you say? Well, what of it? Let's suppose Mr. McGoden were to be found guilty of murder. What would become of your debt in that case? These documents state that the loan agreement is forged between two individual parties. Therefore, were the creditor or the defendant here to be sentenced to a capital punishment, all outstanding debts which were owed to him would be annulled. They would cease to exist. Cease to exist. Mr. Fairplay, is it not the case that you claimed in your testimony to have seen something you never in fact saw in a devious attempt to annul your debt of 20 guineas to the defendant? Oh boy! Order! 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 Mr. Fairplay! Yes, my lord? Let me ask you again, and be aware that your answer may have most serious implications upon your future, sir. Did you not see the precise moment in time in which the defendant is alleged to have a thrust into the victim? Your silence speaks volumes. You did not tell the truth in your testimony. Alright, let's not make a melodrama out of this. Perhaps I did overstate the truth in a pinch. A pinch? Well, it makes no difference. I definitely remember seeing blood on Miss McGilden's hands, both of them.
Objection!
But there... And yet, only one of the defendant's gloves, which we have here as evidence, is stained. So you keep saying. I wonder if I might be allowed to speak, sir. Go ahead, Mr. First. Well, the thing is, I think I remember seeing it myself as it happens. Seeing what? The blood, sir, on the assailant's hands. I think, yes. I'm almost sure it was on both of his hands, not just one. What? You gotta be kidding me. It would appear that we're going to need further testimony from all of you witnesses this time. I would like to know precisely what you did and what you did not see. Do I make myself perfectly clear? Yes! Mr. Naruhodo, this is good news. The course of the trial seems to have shifted slightly at last. Yes. I might finally have a chance to turn things around here. Oh boy. There was blood on both hands of the assailant. I sincerely and distinctly remember that. However, I suppose you might say that I didn't see the exact moment that transpired, if that matters. I remember seeing the knife, and I remember seeing both of the attacker's hands with blood on them. I didn't actually see anything myself. No, not until I heard the scream. Anyway, the fact remains, there can't have been anyone else inside the carriage, or we all would have seen. Oh boy. Well, lo and behold, in truth of fact, not one of you was witness to the crucial moment the crime was perpetrated. I apologize, my lord, but honestly, there was no one else inside the carriage, and the man's hands were covered in blood. That much incriminating evidence is tantamount to say that we saw the man do it. That's really not what testimony is about. Let us examine the interior of the omnibus much more. The victim's fresh blood is clearly visible on the seat, corroborating the witness's accounts. In other words, there is no substantial or significant change in the facts of the case. Very well. Your cross-examination, please, counsel. Yes, my lord. There was blood on both hands of the assailant. I sincerely distinctly remember that.
Hold it!
No, the evidence tells us otherwise. We have the gloves the defendant was wearing on the night in question in court record. I'm well aware of that, sir, but nevertheless, I know what I saw and I stand by it. The man had blood on both hands. He is defiant, even in the face of hard evidence. He steadfastly refuses to admit he might be mistaken about what he saw, but why? Everything is dire. One hand or two, the salient point remains unchanged. Minutes after the grim crime, the victim's blood dripped guiltily from the accused's fingers. However, I suppose that you might say I didn't see the exact moment the stabbing transpired if that matters.
Hold it!
Don't try to downplay this! Whether or not you saw the exact moment of the crime is a matter of fundamental importance, as well as you know. But, for crying out loud, we all know that no one else could have possibly have done it! It was just trying to save us all some time. You have a loan of 20 guineas outstanding with the defendant, do you not? Had you hoped to release yourself from that financial burden by ensuring the defendant was found guilty? Right, well, that's not entirely not what I was hoping for. I was lost a little guinea or 10 when I backed the wrong horse in the derby, that's all. I was going to win it all back. There's a fixture this weekend. That's a sure thing. A little guinea or 10? I'm a banker. No one bets to die if I borrow a little spending money for the weekend. I think you may have revealed rather more about your character than you bargained for, sir. The witness's scruples are not on trial here. Proceed to the next witness. Is that really how it's supposed to work? I remember seeing the knife, and I remember seeing both the attacker's hands with blood on them. That frick.
Hold it!
You definitely saw that too? Blood on both hands? Yes, sir. I mean, I know what you're going to say. Only one of the Mikiota's gloves had any signs of blood on it. That's right. The thing is, as far as I remember, sir, when I looked down and saw Mr. Mikiota standing beside the other fellow, I don't believe he was wearing any gloves, sir. He wasn't wearing these gloves? That's correct, sir. And I saw the blood on both his bare hands quite clearly. It's true that the dark colored stain on the dark leather gloves wouldn't have been easy to see. I should point out that the police officer who apprehended the accused on the night in question reported that there is no trace of blood on Mr. McGood's gloved hands. There wasn't blood on his hands? This is puzzling indeed. It's supposed to be significant somehow. I'm sure of it. I didn't actually see anything myself. No, not until I heard that scream.
Hold it!
You didn't see anything? Oh, yes, sir. That is to say, no, sir, I didn't. I'm very sorry for what I said before, sir. Very sorry, yes. It was very wrong of me to make up stories that I saw him stab a man. Wouldn't you agree, sir? I know what you're insinuating, but I certainly wasn't making up stories. Still, to say you saw nothing isn't right either, is it? No, sir, I saw nothing at all. Mr. Beppo, you were driving your horses! At the very least, you must have enjoyed a good view of London streets, no? Oh, please. You didn't even see that? It was so cold that night, you see, all I could do was keep fast. That was all I could do to keep not passing out, sir. As my head was fairly frozen solid, sorry to say, sir. It would seem to be prudent to avoid travel on the last omnibus service of London's cold winter nights. Beppo! Anyway, the fact remains, there can't have been anyone else inside that carriage, or we all would have stayed!
Hold it!
And everything you saw of the incident was through the skylight on the roof of the omnibus. That's right, it was fiercely cold that night, but the glass wasn't frosted over. Oh yes, I remember the shivering. Oh, it was so bitter. Which rather begs the question of why the pair of you were sitting on the roof deck in the first place. Well, I don't know about this young fellow, but I couldn't enter the cabin. Oh? Why not? It was locked from the inside. I tried knocking, but no one opened the door. It was locked? That's right, and it's a public bus service, for pity's sake. That's not what I call fair play! Yes, I had exactly the same experience. I tried knocking, but the gent inside just gestured at me to clear off. So I had no choice but to climb up to the roof deck and look down longingly into the warm cabin below. Well, I can assure you I wasn't just looking down, I was glaring long and hard. And that was precisely why I can tell you with absolute confidence that if there was anyone else in that cabin, I would have noticed. Unequivocal, I would say. I'm not sure about these two witnesses. Could they really have seen everything inside the cabin through the skylight? I don't know if they might have been able to. Allow me to confirm one thing, Mr. Fairplay. You were riding up this omnibus and witnessed the events of the cabin through the skylight in the floor on the upper deck. Isn't that right? That's right, yes. In that case, there is a portion of the cabin interior that would have been out of sight from you. What? By golly, really? Obviously, at this stage, we can't say for sure. But the possibility cannot be denied that at the time of the incident, there could have been another passenger in the enclosed cabin of the omnibus.
Objection!
Enough hypothetical meandering, my Nipponese friend. The prosecution demands that you substantiate your claims. After all, the scene of the crime is here, in the flesh! Or in the wood, rather. Very well, I will uphold the prosecution's demand. You will identify the area with the cross-section panel of the omnibus. Where exactly in the omnibus are you suggesting that this... Right here. Actually, probably right here.
Take that!
Both rows of seats on the roof face in the direction of travel, whereas the seats in the enclosed cabin face each other, which means the visible part of the cabin which passengers on the roof deck can see through the skylight is as I've drawn here. Ah, that's right, my lord. As you can see, the seat opposite of the one which the victim and its attacker were sitting is obscured from view. In other words, if someone had been sitting on that seat, it's quite possible that these witnesses would have been completely unaware of it.
Objection!
It's quite possible some phantom was sitting there. You Nipponese have a foreboding habit of obscuring the truth with ambiguity. I concur with the prosecution's rejoinder. In a British court of law, evidence is paramount. I cannot entertain this conjecture, counsel. That is, unless you are able to put a name to this mysterious passenger to whom you allude. Can you, Mr. Nahoda? I honestly don't know. Who could it have been? Who could have been in the other seat, which was out of sight from witnesses on the roof deck? Honestly, I have no idea. We don't even know anyone. I have literally no idea. But as a proud citizen of the Japanese Empire, you will look to the sky and walk on, making sure all signs of tears are gone. Come on. This isn't just a case of going on, Mrs. Sato. Alright then, I'll go on. The defense would like to put forward a name. You are a fool. The response was a desperate attempt by a man who has no notion of his own limitations. A toast to the hard lessons not yet learned. Let us not delay, counsel. The defense is still to name the passenger on the other seat. Yes, this could be it. This could be the chance I've been waiting for to turn the trial in my favor. On that night, on the night of the murder, the person occupying the seat in the omnibus cabin with obscured review was... I literally have no idea. Like... McGilden?
Take that!
The passenger in the enclosed cabin that the witnesses on the roof failed to see has to have been Mr. Magnus McGilden. Mr. McGilden? What are you talking about, counsel? That's the name of the defendant.
Objection!
Whoa! Dude! If I desecrate the chamber by smashing my hallowed hell chest, do forgive me the discouraged sea. Holy crap! Lord Van Zykes. People talk of those tiny island nations in the Far East as having learning, but I see the term ill-advised. Learning and culture of having a learning and culture of their own. Wow! What are you trying to say? Let me explain in terms that even a student of an artless backwater such as yourself might understand. When a bloody scene unfolded, the victim and his assailant were sitting side by side. Multiple witnesses have attested to the fact. It's the very premise on which this case is built.
Objection!
But that premise may be wrong. What? If the victim really was sitting beside Mr. McGilden, it creates an inconsistency that can't be reconciled in any way. What inconsistency, counsel? The defendant's gloves, my lord. Both witnesses made the same testimony. They claimed that there was blood on both hands of the victim, the person sitting next to the victim.
Objection!
Oh! Okay, I see. Yet, we know the truth to be otherwise. Only one glove bears the gory remains.
Objection!
The point is, even in the face of this irrefutable evidence, both witnesses have maintained their stance. Yes, their testimony remains unchanged. So what if they're right? They both adamantly swear that they clearly remember seeing blood on both hands of the assailant. In short, their memory of events is correct, and their testimony reveals the truth. It was somebody else sitting beside the victim that night, a third party we have yet to identify. And the victim's blood was on that passenger's hands. Both of them.
Objection!
And who was this third party? Obviously, the true culprit. Extraordinary! Order! 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 What exactly are you postulating?
Objection!
The defense's postulation is just that, nothing more than conjecture. The witnesses have clearly stated that they saw the accused.
Objection!
But when elaborating on his testimony, Mr. Fairplay said the two of them were wearing hats, and I couldn't exactly make out their faces. Yes, the tops of their hats were obscured by the roof. I could see the rest of them, though. Yes, that's right. Both gents were most certainly hatted. Hatters do tend to notice such things, sir. And what particular styles of hat do the two gentlemen sport, Mr. First? I'm afraid I don't remember. And you call yourself a hatter! The style of hat makes no difference. There was no third passenger in that cabin. How can you be sure? Because if there had been, the accused Mr. McGilded would undoubtedly have offered to depose the fact. Unless that is, you are proposing an even more preposterous explanation. The accused failed to even notice the presence of the true culprit in the very cabin in which he traveled. Unless he's protecting someone? He's right. If there was another person traveling in the enclosed cabinet of the omnibus, it's inconceivable that Mr. McGolded would have even been unaware of it. Order! This is clearly a simple solution to this problem. Bring the accused Mr. McGolded to the stand. Well, what say you, counsel? The prosecution objects, my lord. On what grounds? As a suspect, he will have already made a full statement to the police. But what if there was some reason why he's unable to speak freely? Magnus McGilded is no uneducated ruffian. If it indeed turns out this man has been withholding information, you can be sure it will have been a most deliberate act. Counsel for the defense, what is your opinion? My lord, should we ask Mr. McGilded to testify or not? We demand his testimony. Yes, we need to hear what he has to say in order to find out the truth. The defense would like to call Mr. McGilded to the stand. In that case, I would like to hear the opinion of the jury. Yes, I need a little time to consider this. If you ask me, I think we should hear what Mr. McGilded has to say. Get the man out here, I say! It would be utterly illogical to not hear his testimony. When something needs doing, get it done. That's how I run things at Guild. Hearing what the patron of my favorite little pot has to say? Oh yes, that would be lovely. Yes, the jury says the man must be heard. Very well. This court will hear the defendant's testimony. Bailiff, show the defendant to the stand at once. Oh. Now, maybe what actually happened that night will finally become clear. We're still not done. Let proceedings be resumed. Mr. McGilded, have you been listening to the discourse of the day? To be sure, I have, my lord. No, look. There are now two matters in which the court desires to hear from you. The first is whether or not there was a third party with you in the omnibus cabin, as proposed with the defense. The second is that if such a person was indeed present, why did you conceal the fact from the police? Begad, no, 'tis not my nature to hide anything at all. Just answer the question, please. The truth of the matter is, I've been desperate about this all along. Do I tell you this all, or keep my mouth shut? Tell us what, Mr. McGilded? The fine fellow representing me is absolutely right. In the carriage of the night with myself and the other man, there was another passenger. Is it true? Aye, and 'twas me who helped the little urchin get away after it all happened. You... What?! What did you... No, Magnus McGilded. That convenient excuse can't save you now. I'm truly sorry, so I am Lord Van Zykes. I'm sure you'll be wanting to know why I said nothing when I was taken by the police. I do be having a very good reason, I assure you. Which was... Well, the little child was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, and not in the any way involved, you see. What? If the police had known that the wee one was there, they'd have assumed she'd done it.
They have all heard here in this here courtroom, just like myself. I was always trying to spare her that. Young hearts and young minds are easily savaged, my lord. And who was this young child of whom you speak? That I don't know. You don't know? We think just happened to be in the carriage that night. I never saw him before or since.
Objection!
We have absolutely no reason to believe this man. The prosecution calls for the witness's statements to be disregarded by the court.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if the urchin isn't here in the courtroom as we speak, listening to the court proceedings. What? Ah! Smoke! Ah! Fire! There's a fire! Look, somebody's trying to get away! Ah, I have to live! It's no use! I can't see anything through the smoke! What is going on? Careful, Mr. Hart. Cover your face. Bailiff, don't let the accused escape. Seize the omnibus. I hereby call an emergency recess. Bailiff, ensure the defendant is in custody and clear of the courtroom.
We were hurriedly removed from the smoke-filled courtroom by the bailiff. Amid the scenes of chaos, as people stumbled over one another in their desperation to flee the chamber, we had no idea what was happening. All we knew was that, for the time being at least, the trial was suspended. Oh boy! What a explosive end! Or a fiery explosive... What an end to this... to the first part of this. Oh, trial part 3. Huh. Well... that's a lot better. That's a much better way to... much better put. Well, as much as I would love to keep going, I need to rest my voice, and it's way past my usual ending time. So I'm gonna call it here for tonight. So for our raid message, and who are we gonna raid? I'd say let's raid. What the heck? Yeah, okay. I got an idea. Ray. Yeah, no problem. I love the Ace Attorney series, and I was so glad to be able to actually be able to play this instead of just having to watch like translations. Like just being able to just like actually play it is a really nice experience. Like, but yeah, and just being able to get my live reactions, like it's one of those few games where I can actually like have like a live reaction to something, because I can't stream the dang Rompa games or Zero Escape or stuff without because I already watched them, so I already played them, watched them, and all that jazz, so I can't really get a reaction. So anyway, so for a raid message, I guess bye Chalice. I don't know. Just sure, let's just go with that. Anyway, so have a good night. God bless, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye. Have a good one.
To the neglect, we for effects, clueless and aptitude of a reckless, blueprint of destruction, tooling to death, stuck in a zoo full of stress, rush and polluted excess, future of bets, Russian roulette, choosing a step, shooting ahead, running to a success, or shooting ahead, blood in the pool, what a mess, cue to reflect what's been, halved up in pursuit of the best stuff and queue up the next. Something produced to get loving the muse for a sec, but then consumers forget. Jump into a subject, newer and let. Used to be Zeb, doomed to collect dust instead of influence check or recruiting to rest. Buzzing, due to be swept up in a huge internet dust. Being a delusion projects dumped to web dungeons, a room I could get shunned, and yet some in the mood to regret. Nothing when you view it as less substance to shooting projects done which do not expect funding the band snubbed and accused of select and fruitless investments. Using my precious few minutes left with the tools in the chest, pumping on futile endeavors, but I'm doing my best. Continuing the track, hunter music success. Screw up with settle, just blue collar breath, punch in, erect, funk, select, fun improvement was fed to all the